Hello, everyone. My name is Miranda Ward with Valuable Voices, the podcast, and I am super excited for you to get to know my dear friend, Jennifer Kinney. She has so much exciting things going on. I can't wait for her to tell you, but rather than me telling you, I'm going to dive right in. So I got to tell you how I know this beautiful woman. We both grew up in a Chicago suburb. And we were shopping with our parents, if I remember right, at Best Buy, getting ready to go to college. And we both had our college sweatshirts on. And she probably said something to me because I'm too shy, but we were like, oh, are you going to Iowa? I don't know who said what. And it turned out that we were both going to University of Iowa. We're going to be freshmen. We were going to be on the same floor down the hall from each other. So it was just kind of cool to walk into that knowing somebody, and we didn't go to the same high school, but we got to know each other, and college was just a blast with this girl. And I love that now we're just 45 minutes away or so we get together for coffee, walks, lunch, dinner, and I just love her. So I can't wait for you to get to know her. This is my dear friend Jen Kinney. So she lives up in Huntley with her family. And gosh, where do we even start with this one? So maybe go back to, well, I knew you in college, but kind of, where did your health, I don't know what you want to call them. I don't want to call them problems or issues, but where did you maybe start not feeling well and knew something needed to change?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again for having me and getting a chance just to talk. Like I told you, I didn't rehearse this. I'm just going to talk to you from my heart.
Perfect.
So I remember starting to not feel well around age 9 or 10. And mostly it was digestive types of things. And it really progressed because remember, like if we ignore something, it's not going to go away. So that has been a theme that I feel like I talk about now a lot with people is if your body is giving you a warning sign or a little warning light, if you ignore it, it's just going to get worse. It's not going away. So that's what happened with me. It didn't go away. And I continued to have a lot of like digestion, heartburn, and other things that just began to impact my daily life. So I was dating my husband at the time, and in college and after college, we would have to leave events because I was unwell. That's when you really need to help you find someone, get to the root cause. And that's what I'm so passionate about now is getting to the root cause of why we feel unwell. And that is really tied together a lot with our mental and emotional health and our physical health, and then genetics, what we were born with. So I could go on and on. What else should I focus on, Miranda?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's so many directions you could go with this because there's so much involved. It is what we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're saying to ourselves, how we're feeling. Oh my gosh, I mean, the lies we believe. But I know this, you kind of took your pain or your experience, and now you have this passion to help people. So tell me how you kind of decided, has it been a year ago, to go into this coaching to help other people, other women especially, with something like what you might have suffered with. So tell me about how you made that choice, and I love that you just kind of went for it. I remember, and now here you are a year later. So tell us kind of how you started that and where you're at now with that.
Okay. So you're right. A year ago, I started a program that is one of the only few accredited health coaching programs that allow you to become a board certified functional medicine health coach. So the reason why I went into this program is because 5 years ago, I finally found a doctor who helped me get to the underlying root cause. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I've been through 8 colonoscopies and endoscopies. I can
Oh my gosh.
relate.
And how old are you? Do you
Right.
want to say? I mean, we're in our 40s. That's crazy.
Yeah. So there were times where I would need an endoscopy with a balloon to literally open up my esophagus again, stretch it open because of all the scarring so that I could swallow food. Okay. So there's been a lot that I've learned in the last 5 years of working with a doctor from the Institute of Functional Medicine. So we worked on my emotional health. In the last year, I've hired a therapist and have healed a lot with that. That was an important piece of the, type of doctors that I chose to work with. So we uncovered a lot of food sensitivities. And now I have my own health coach who helps me when things get hard and get overwhelming and I need someone to help me narrow it down instead of worrying about all these different things that I need to be eating well. I need to be taking care of myself. I need to be taking care of my emotional health. And for me, still healing, I'm taking quite a bit of supplements. So even for me, I literally have a schedule where I need to know when I'm taking everything and when I need to eat. And so I could have progressed through my 5 years of healing so much faster had I had a health coach, right? Because everyone goes to meet with their doctor, and when you get a good one, you're in there and you can tell, but they still have only got so much time for you. I mean, you feel the pressure of the other person in the waiting room. I mean, right? And you can tell that they're, needing to move on. And so, so a lot of when you're really taking on a lot of healing and you're tired, you're already exhausted when you're working with a lot of autoimmune illness. And so having a health coach come along and supplement you in between those doctor appointments and help you get things straight is where healing can happen so much faster. Right. And you don't have to be alone. It really felt like I was alone. People still don't understand.
Absolutely. And I think it's just overwhelming. I mean, there's this diet, there's this thing to do. I mean, there's a million different things, and we all have our own experience in how we do that. And for me, failed, tried something else, failed, and maybe not failed, but learned things along the way, what works, what doesn't. Right. I think we all probably know what we need to do. It's just a matter of actually doing it. And for me, accountability is huge. So I started with a health coach, and just having the accountability, even just to show her the food I'm eating, I'm making different choices. Right. So for me, it's the accountability. I think that's awesome. I love that. So tell me about Zest for Wellness, what that is, how you're moving forward with that. I love the name of that. I love the Instagram page. You've got to check out Zest for Wellness. It's so beautiful. I love the lemon. So tell me how that came about.
Thank you. Well, one of the big things that health coaches will help a client with is understanding your character strengths, because a lot of times when people come to us, like I said, you are tired, you're frustrated, you're mad, you're wondering why me. And so one of the ways that we dig ourselves out of that hole and get off of that pattern of thinking is to praise yourself for the things that do come naturally to you in terms of your character strengths, your personality strengths. So there's an assessment that I like to have people do. And one of the 24 character strengths is called Zest. Now, Zest is something that comes easy to me and is one of my top strengths. Self-discipline and self-regulation is down here, and Zest is up here. So therein lies, the power of a health coach and someone to walk alongside of me, who empowers me, who gets me, and who allows me to share my struggles and reminds me of my strengths. So because Zest comes so naturally to me, And because I love learning new things and I have a love of learning, I just naturally came up with the business name Zest for Wellness.
I love that. And the lemon zest. It's such a cute logo. I just love that. So what do you do on a daily basis as a busy mom to help your kiddos stay healthy and that sort of thing as well, especially with back to school and everything else going on?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is food. So I do believe food is medicine. And I do believe that we also have to, we get to live our life. We get to be busy and we get to be going to sports and on trips, and we want to live a flexible life. So I guess what I'm saying is I believe in a balance there, and I try to set my kids up with pre-cooked foods with ingredients that we can pronounce. So I'm really big into food prepping and leaving things in the refrigerator that the kids can eat. And I'd love to tell you a little example of what I did this last week when we started the virtual learning from home, school from home. So my kids are both in middle school and they eat at different times. One's in 6th and one's in 8th, and they eat different lunches on different days because they're running a block learning schedule or a block class. So long story short, I made a little chalkboard in the kitchen, and it says, it just gives them options. So I've made some hard-boiled eggs, or I've made some grilled chicken, and they can pull together lunches. So I would say food is a really big way that I prevent illness in my kids, and I've also been healing them.
I love that. It's like a little menu, kind of like at school, but more healthy. And I love the way, oh my gosh, you go to her house, it's so organized and beautiful, but it works for her. And she just shares simple recipes online. I love that. I think some of us, like me included, are just overwhelmed with even trying something different or trying something new, but start small. It's just like each little baby step, and eventually it'll become a habit. Maybe it's one new recipe a week or a month, whatever works for you. Because if you're like me and you cook something and your kids don't eat it, then you're like, oh, so frustrated. So, but yeah, Jen's just been a huge help in my life just to bounce ideas off of too. Again, I love the accountability, the what's working for you. We're at same stages in our life, so that's been super helpful. So I would ask you, what's been a valuable voice in your life? Obviously the doctors or books, so like podcasts, who might be your top 1, 2, 3 people that you admire or trust for wellness tips?
Great question. I have a lot because I'm Zest, right? So I like to keep my mind open to new things. And the top 3 things that come to mind, I like listening to podcasts. So when I meet with clients, I try to evaluate what they are interested in and then share a couple podcasts that they could then go and listen to. And these are things that you can just hit play and go out for a walk. So one thing I'm doing right now for the next 28 days or so is Thermogenesis. This is something that you can follow Ben Greenfield or Keon. And that is helping to increase your metabolism and decrease your inflammation by doing cold showers or cold baths. So being an autoimmune person, my body carries a lot of inflammation. So I know people can relate to that. You go to work out and then you're sore for way longer than a regular person. Let's see, I follow a lot of foodie, some autoimmune food recipe creators, but ultimately in my life, what I feel like is sustainable is I just heat up food. I don't even cook. I just heat up food. Like Miranda said, I like to make it really simple, and I can look at fancy recipes and I can boil it down to 5 minutes of preparation and 5 ingredients. So it might say, you have to have arrowroot powder and, different things. I just acclimate to what I have and make things super simple in ingredients that you can pronounce. And then the third thing, if I could share, is the body hears what the mind says, right? Mm-hmm. So I try to give people options on some mindfulness, things that you can read, exercises that you can do, or podcasts that you can listen to try to be aware of your thoughts. And you have to get real quiet in order to hear what you are saying to yourself. And that is so important for people who have been sick for a long time. These are deep-rooted ways of thinking and things that you say to yourself. And so the biggest thing I would say is people are finding results in setting their agenda for their day. So this is what I'm going to focus on, and getting yourself a simple planner on paper. And then maybe it's a song, maybe it's a meditation, or maybe it's a breathing technique that's very easy. And starting your day with that type of mindfulness technique is an important part of healing for sure.
I love that. So good. And again, it's just a simple step. Pick one or two things and just start. I think some of us are paralyzed and just, I don't know what to do next. So I'm just super grateful for you. I'm blown away with like how smart you are. She showed me her binder once of all her labs, and she takes what she's given and she finds the good. And again, she's doing what she needs to do for her family, focusing on what she believes in and really being healthy and helping others as well. And I just love your passion. I'm so excited for you. Congrats on all your success and what you've got going. Let us know where we can find you, if there's anywhere else besides the Instagram Zest for Wellness, or what the best way is to reach out to you. I don't know if you're offering coaching or anything like that, or what the offer is to people, but yeah, let us know.
Yes. So if I could, I'll let you know right now. Yes. So you can find me on zestforwellness.com. I also have Instagram and Facebook. And I would love to begin coaching on September 1st. So that's in a couple of days. I begin coaching, and they are set in packages of 6. So I get to hear your story, and then we get to work together for about 6 weeks, and then go from there based on what your needs are. People come to me on their own because they just know they're ready to make a change. They're, tired of their body giving them warning lights, and they're tired of ignoring them. I also take clients coming straight from functional medicine practitioners. So I just am so happy to take what was a challenge for me and just leave a legacy, of helping other people. And I love just being connected with my community and meeting new people. So yes.
I love it. And you're such a good connector. I've seen Jen grow so much in the time I've known her, even into the past year, especially as you're getting the certificate. She's asking me questions and coaching me. And I love that. That's what an amazing coach does, is really, rather than like tell you what to do always, but like help you kind of figure it out on your own. So that's been really eye-opening and awesome. So zestforwellness.com, check it out. My dear friend, Jennifer Kinney, thank you so much for jumping on today. I love you and I appreciate you. And I know you're going to do amazing things.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, hon. Talk soon.
Okay, bye.